Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to Fisherman Huddle. Thank you guys for joining me today, and we're gonna get it popping and get it going and talk bass fishing.
See, I've been waiting. Waiting on that time. Feel me if you've been waiting on yours. That moment, it's close. It's close.
Yeah. Tired of living day to day like everything's alright. Just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. Waiting on my
Old Colorado Blade. Colorado Blade does it for me.
Then he named me over
I said
a
this is the year of
phone.
the Giants.
Prison term.
This is
Live and
3
learn,
pounds.
sip and serve. With my
Easy
vision
spot.
blurred. Take
On
this
the
cup of
Colorado
reality.
Blade. Look at that.
Gonna earn. When you start from the bottom, you can see the top. So when you get to it.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Fisherman Huddle. We got a lot of things going for today, and we're going to talk a little bit about a certain subject, and I'm going to jump right into the show today. First of all, I talk about this a lot. It's mystery tackle box. It's a cool thing for bass fishermen. You know, every sport has their go-to thing that they talk about, and it gets a lot of people attention, and it gets people interested in, in that sport. And our sport interest is mystery tackle box. It's been around for a while. It's a hot new thing that's going on, a new buzz that's going on in the fishing world. And it's cool. It's different baits and different lures that Carl's Bait Tackle put together. Whether you're a bass fisherman or a trout fisherman, they make specific boxes for you. And if you want to get one of these boxes, all you do is subscribe to mysterytacklebox.com, get you set up, and they may have promo codes, or you can check out the Guggen Squad. They may have promo codes. You can check out John B. He has a YouTube channel. They may have promo codes. He may have promo code. But with that promo code, if you're a first-time signer-upper, you can get that box for $5, discounted from a value of about $30. It's a cool thing. So if you want to check out something new, something fresh, check out Mystery Tackle Box. On to more order of business. I've been working with this company for about almost a year, and I've been using their bait for about 3 years. I'm talking about KVD Strike King. They've been around for a long time, and I've been working with them for about a year. They have great baits, great lures. If you're looking for lipless crankbaits, if you're looking for deep divers, if you're looking for square bills, soft plastics, they got it all, man. So if you're a new beginner and you're looking around for, different baits, and you're walking down that long aisle, I know how it is. If you're walking down the aisle, you're trying to find baits and lures. I've been in that place. I'm like, man, what's new? And I still do that. I've been in the fishing game for about 5 years. But it gets to the point where, hey, man, I want to try something new, something fresh, and I come up. Sometime I get into that thing where I find certain things and certain things don't work. But it want to help you move along a lot faster by checking out Strike King. Now, with me specifically, I go for the swim baits or the Colorado Blade. That works for me. Those are two things that I wanted to check out for myself. Those things, two things I was interested in, because I know both of those work. But it's just finding the right thing for you, the right color, the right shape. And KVD Strike King, they had it for me. Now, usually I throw, with the swim bait, I throw the clear plastic. It's a clear plastic KVD Strike King clear plastic. And my setup, usually I go for, is a 3/0. The weight is a 3. It's a drill in. It's great for moving through cover, rocks, light cover, rocks, grass. You can jerk it, pull it, launch it out, let it sink to the bottom. And the thing is, the weight that's key with throwing these kind of swim baits, is get you a weight setup, and you can make your weight lighter, you can make it heavy or really heavy. It all depends on your surroundings, the water, and but usually I go with a 3, and I throw the KVD Swimbait, and it's worked good for me. I've been throwing the KVD Swimbait for about 2 years, and I've caught all kind of big fish, man. So it's been very, very successful for me. And also the Colorado blade is a new thing that has been catching me a lot of fish. So with the Colorado blade, I've been throwing that, but recently I've been catching a lot of big spotted bass. I've been catching a lot of spotted bass. It's been fun for me. And so if you're looking around and scrounging around, you're trying to find a good bait to land with. And if you don't want to be like me, having to walk all down our house, checking out all different stuff, you can check out KVD Strike King, and also check out their Colorado blades. I usually go for the thin blade, and that works perfectly. Usually in clear water, I throw a blue and a white and yellow, a bright color. But dark color works all around. I throw the dark gray with a touch of black, with the bullet on the front of it is gray. So check that out, that Colorado blade, and check out the swim bait, and also get that weight set up, man. It makes it a lot easier, a lot smoother. You know, no hang-ups and things like that. But the important thing is to bend that hook down, you know, and to tuck that in. And so we're gonna move right along to the main thing we're going to talk about today, and we talked about the last time. That is situational baits. Situational baits is, you know, determining where to throw certain lures and certain baits. You know, how effective is it? The color, the texture. You know, what time of day? What are the fish in the mood for? You know, and what looks good for presentation, how to move the bait. Because moving the bait, I talk about a lot of times, is key in bass fishing. Learn how to move a swim bait, you know, learning how to move a drop shot in a specific way. Because every fish has their code. You know, I talk about fish having that code where, you know, if you move a certain bait, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, they hit that. You know, if you move a bait 1, 2, 3, pause it, 1, 2, they hit that. And so every fish has that code. And once you learn how to move the baits properly and realistically, you'll catch more fish. And that's been the key for me in bass fishing. In my early days of bass fishing, that was key for me, because I was throwing a trick worm. You know, moving that correctly and properly and getting those fish to hit, that trick worm was key for me, and it launched me into moving baits certainly. So first of all, this is a KVD, and it's a XPS. I got it for, it looks like a bluegill color. You know, it'll work good at my Duke Energy Explorium. They have bait fish this color. So choosing a hard bait, fish bait, is based upon the color, the texture, and also movement. So with the square bill, you know, with this bait, is good for clinging on rocks. It's known for that, and also in brush, is known for making a lot of noise, a lot of sound, and getting those fish to react. For me, I like a smaller size. You know, I go for more realistic colors that match the surrounding bait fish that these fish like to hunt. And so with this, it's more of a reaction bait, clanging on rocks or slight cover, you know, just bouncing off certain things that gets those fish to hit. That's, like I said, it's good and situational. things when you have a lot of things that's laid down, or a lot of rocks, especially with the rocks. I've had good experience with the rock issue, banging and clanging against rocks and stuff like that. So with me throwing where rocks are along that rocky edge, and letting that bait just move and clank, 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 clank. And also the movement is that wobble. It works very good. And lastly, that color. It's like a bluegill color. So you want to match the different fish that are in the surrounding area, and that's the square bill. I have different, like I said, I have different square bill for different situations. For different colors. Usually I go with, if I'm in dark water and I'm throwing a square bill, or in light water, there's certain things that work. I'll throw this in clear water, something like this, in more dark and murkier water. So the color is very key with throwing that. And something that I've recently purchased is the Bad Shad. This is a Bad Shad 735. It goes 3 feet. So this is for shallow in the mornings. And this is a Bad Shad 7. So it's a new bait. I got it because it's more realistic. The Bad Shad is more realistic because of the tight wobble. It looks like a bait fish running around. And if you're new to bass fishing, that front end is to make that bait go down a lot deeper. They have different front ends for different depths. So I can have one that goes 3 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet. It all depends on the parts of the day. Now if you're throwing a Bad Shad in the morning, 3.5 feet is great, because those bait fish are moving, and those fish are out, and they're out and about, and they're looking for fish to be at a certain depth. So Bad Shad is meant to have a tight wobble. It's really thin, more realistic. Me, I go for more realistic baits, and it looks good. It looks like a bait fish, and that color, they can go from purple to more of a bass type color, bluegill color. And these work for, as far as situational. I mean, if you certain bait fish are around, throw it in the pile of bait fish, man, and make it move. Or throw it, near, probably about, I think, will be like 4 feet away from the bank. If you're on the bank, you're out this way, you just turn to the rocks and just throw about 4 feet out and work that. Because usually smaller fish run closer to the bank, and so if they see a Bad Shad, coming across a little too far, they're going to take a whack at it. So that's a good situational point. If you're throwing a little bit away from the bank, about 4 feet away, or a little bit further, 5, 6, 7 feet away, and make that fish like it's kind of just straggling along, that works good. But you can throw this, in a rocky, most of the time you can throw these not in heavy cover or grass or things like that. Mostly it's just kind of like, plain water, as far as sandy bottom or leaves at the bottom, stuff like that. So meant to cover a lot of ground with that. And like I said, the same thing, the depth. This is a Hardcore X mid crank golf. I got lucky and got this. I snagged this on discount, and it's meant to have a crawl imitation. This is good for the winter time, and it's also good for the spring and the fall. When those crawfish are moving, you can throw this toward the bottom. What's hitting that bottom, it's moving at the bottom, has little beads in it, and that color is dark, that dark color. So the fish's eyes are used to that, seeing that dark color, and that break in the pattern looks like a crawfish. So this is good for, as far as situational goes, when other fish, when the fish are kind of chill, and the big fish are looking for some food, and they know that their meal shortage is short, because you know a lot of fish aren't really moving that much around that much like that. But during the winter time, and then the fall, and at the beginning of spring, these are good to throw. Works very, very well. Moving on to my number one thing, and that's the swim bait. I'll be talking about this swim bait a lot, because you can throw it in light cover, rocks, grass, you know, sandy areas. I mean, this is very versatile bait. Comes in different color, different sizes. You know, usually I throw the perfect plastic, clear plastic. It's all clear. Looks like a small stripe, baby striper. But I've used the open knot, and it's a 3-way. You can make it heavier if you want. It's a drill in, and also you have to bend the hook down. So this is a very versatile bait. As far as situational, I mean, you can throw this, you know, basically anywhere. And light cover, not heavy cover. That means light brush. You know, it's very, very good bait, especially to throw if you know where the bait, especially if you know where the bait fish are running. This would be a good thing to throw. And so situational baits are covered for today. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Fisherman Huddle. If you like what you see, if you learned a lot, you can hit that subscription bell and subscribe and get more videos, and also watch the one I did before this one. And until next time, remember, keep it popping.
See, I've been waiting on that time. Feel me if you've been waiting on yours. That moment.